So glad to be home. As Commissioner Weekly said, I think it's worth saying a few things about Nelson Mandela. I had the good fortune of being in Congress when he addressed the joint session of Congress. I never shook hands with him, wasn't in a position at the time to do so. But I have traveled to South Africa, and I was taken to Robben Island, my wife and I, and a couple of the senators. Remarkable place, because that's where he spent most of his 27 years in prison. And we were given the tour by somebody who was in prison with him all the time. He's a Muslim. His name is, I can't pronounce his name, but everybody called him Keth. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience for us to see what those men put up with in that facility. We went to where they were, in effect, just broke rocks. We went to the cell where Nelson Mandela looked out, and he loved to watch the children play. When they found out that he enjoyed that, they shut the window so he couldn't watch. But just one interesting little story. They would punish these men by taking food away. And so when they heard one of theirs was going to be punished, they would save food and go to him at nighttime after they'd eaten with their food. So he said they went to one of the prisoners and they said, "Here, we got some food for you." He says, "Nah, not tonight, I just brushed my teeth." I also want to just say a word and divert from the reason we're really here. Dr. William Pearson. Every time I come to this facility, I think about him because I'm the reason that he became a dentist in Nevada. I don't want to boast, but I'm just telling you. Dr. McMillan, who was the only black dentist at the time, Dr. McMillan came to me and he said, "We have this guy here that's well qualified. He's tried time and time again to pass the boards, and they won't let him pass the boards. They want no more me's practicing dentistry in Nevada." So I was lieutenant governor at the time. I went to Mike O'Callahan, who some of you will remember. I said, "Mike, here's what's going on. This guy is qualified. He came from another state where he was a dedicated dentist. We should take care of this." And we took care of it. We changed the board of dentistry. And he became a dentist. My city commissioner, just a wonderful man. Healthcare is something that this community probably understands more than most communities, because a number of you grew up like me. My dad, I can still remember pulling his teeth with a pair of vice grips, a pair of pliers. I can remember my mom. In Searchlight, we had a TV wagon came through once. I only remember it coming through once. But it was there. It was a truck that took x-rays of people's chests. And they would send you something in the mail. My mother got back in the mail, I was a little boy, that she tested positively for TB. You know something? She never, ever went to the doctor. We didn't have one at Searchlight. We had no car most of the time. Where would she go? So as a little boy, I worried so much about my mother. My mother, I thought, had tuberculosis. And I can imagine what she must have thought. But in hindsight, it apparently was a false positive, and she didn't have TB. So my little brother came home after school and slid in the dirt with his bicycle and broke his leg. He's 22 months younger than I am. And he didn't go to a doctor. We carried up, I went and got my mom, who wasn't there. We got him up into a bed, my parents' bed. And he laid there. Can you hear me, Lawrence? Closer. Okay. So he held that, he laid in that bed for days. You couldn't hit the bed, you had a broken leg. It hurt so bad. But we didn't go to the doctor. So everybody, this healthcare thing is real. People need the ability to have healthcare. Modern industrialized nation, we are. Why should we be the only one in the world with the ability to get good medical care? It depends on how much money you have. That's not good. And so, Stephen is right, Congressman Horsford is right. It was hard to get this thing passed. We had every obstacle in the world. First of all, the Republicans could not accept that this man, Barack Obama, had been elected President of the United States. Secondly, that he was going to do the biggest thing ever to happen in the history of our country. What is that? Health care for everybody. Medicare, we love Medicare, great program. But Medicare is a small program compared to what this is. This applies to 300 million people, not just old people, everybody. And it's been so great. Already it's been good. Now, am I happy with the rollout? No, it was awful. But it's gotten better. I talked to the President's Chief of Staff last Sunday. There were 165,000 online as we were talking. Now the site can hold as many as 500,000 people. What we're doing here in Nevada, and I'm not here to boast about Republicans, as you've already heard, but we have to acknowledge that Brian Sandoval did the right thing by establishing a state exchange here. We have to give credit where credit is due, and that he went against all the right-wingers who gave him a lot of trouble, but he did it. As we speak, senior citizens of Nevada, because of Obamacare, already have saved $70 million on prescription drug costs. And you know something else? The pre-existing disability can't stop you from getting insurance anymore. You don't have to be under 18. It stops you. It doesn't stop you from getting insurance anymore. And ladies, until Obamacare, you were a pre-existing disability. You, in most instances, were listed as a pre-existing disability. So there are so many good things in this legislation, this law already. And it would be so much better if we got just a little bit of cooperation from the Republicans in Congress. A little bit of cooperation. But we've gotten none. Not only did they not want him to get elected, him meaning Barack Obama, but they knew he would never get reelected. But he did. And now they can't get over the fact that this young man has been elected twice as President of the United States. Now, President Obama knew that the road would be hard. Now, I'm going to be real quick. I want you to get your lunch. He knew it would be hard. He told me more than once, Gary, if this means my presidency, it has to be. I want to get this bill passed. And it was hard. It was hard. So we could see the many different obstacles in the road. And we didn't see the opposition of the Republicans, who have nothing constructive ever regarding Obamacare. All they want to do is repeal it. It is not going to be repealed. This is the law, and this will be something, when the history books are written, Barack Obama, he's gotten the Nobel Peace Prize and a lot of good things, but nothing will surpass he being the man that has health care for everyone in America. Thank you very much, everybody.